Good evening, everyone. I'd like to call to order the regular City Council meeting of Thursday, April 24th, 2025. I am Julie Daigle, the Ward 4 City Councilor and City Council President. Absent tonight are Councilors Turco and Rosignol. Public participation to this meeting is provided in person and remotely via Zoom in accordance with Mass General Law. The Zoom link can be found on the City website. This meeting is also being televised and recorded by Peabody TV and the City Council stenographer. Please join me for a moment of silence and the Pledge of Allegiance. You heard the motion. All in favor? Any opposed? It's a vote. If there's no objection, we are going to take item 7E first on the agenda. Thank you, Councilor Gamache. Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Madam President. Good evening to you. Good evening, councilors. Hope everybody's doing well. Very happy to be here today to present to you for hopeful adoption a new candidate for the position on the Board of Registrars. There were a couple of openings that transpired, and I wanted to thank two longtime serving members of the Board of Registrars, Judy Blodgett. Judy has been with the board now. She has served as chair for the last number of decades and did an outstanding job. She stepped down this year. And also I wanted to acknowledge who's here today and give a special thank you to Joel Brenner. Joel has been on the Board of Registrars for the last about 10 years, has been a part of a lot of important elections, a lot of very active and busy elections, and I'm very grateful to Joel and his service to the city. He continues to serve. He's working on our community preservation committee. He's been on that now for a couple of years as well. So as expected, Joel is continuing to help the city out, and I wanted to thank you, Joel, for your assistance with the Board of Registrars. Yes. But I'm bringing forward today, I think, a person that all of you know over the years, Kia Shelvare, to be a member of the Board of Registrars. I think all of you know Kia to be a very active part of our community. She currently works for the Massachusetts Executive Office of Refugees and Immigrants, and she has been very active politically in our community and at all of our events. I think all of you know Kia and her family are at all of our events, volunteering, helping out, and always promoting the city of Peabody, and I'm very grateful for that. I thought she'd be an excellent addition with her background and knowledge and talents, that she could be a great addition to the Board of Registrars, and I'm very glad that she was willing to do it. And I think we have, as you know, elections have taken on even greater importance. They've always been important, but even greater importance, and extremely busy and active, and a lot taking place during the elections. And it's important for our registrars to keep an eye on everything and assist Allison and her talented team every step of the way. And I think Kia will do a great job. Kia is here today. Happy to bring her forward, but I'm very happy to bring her name forward to this for consideration to this board and have her start helping us in this capacity. So, Madam President, I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I think that Kia is not afraid of the microphone, so I'm going to see if she wants to come and introduce herself for the record and say a few words.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. First, I would like to thank His Excellency Mayor Betancourt for considering me as an appointee for the Board of Registrar. So, Madam President and honorable members of the Council, Peabody City Council, greetings again. My name is Kia Shelvare, born and raised in Haiti. I immigrated to the United States about 28 years ago, and I have been involved in politics for many years as an activist, to serving for 7 terms as the chair of the Peabody Republican City, and of course, to being a candidate 3 times in the city of Peabody. I understand how important that election legitimacy is, and should I earned your approval, I can promise you in return that I will do the best I can to fulfill my duties. And thank you again for your consideration. And thank you again, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Kia. Before I open it up to the floor, I'm just going to remark that I hope this doesn't mean that you're stepping down from volunteering for our award for 4th of July activities. Are there any counselors that want to make a comment? Counselor Peach.
Thank you, Madam President. I'm thrilled to support this. Kia and her husband Stan have been invaluable members of our community since they moved to Peabody. I've been happy to know you, to work with you. Always been very welcoming and helpful in many, many ways. And they have some wonderful, outstanding children as well that they've raised to be great citizens as well. So when the time comes, I'm happy to make the motion. Thank you.
Counselor Manning Martin. Thank you, Counselor Peach.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'm happy to support Kia. I think everyone here knows that she's extremely hardworking and really throws herself behind things that she believes in. So I think she'll be a great fit. And I want to thank Joel Brenner for his 10 years. I can't believe you were doing that for 10 years. Thank you very much for your continued volunteer work in other areas of the city, and also to thank Judy Blodgett for her many years of service as well. It's volunteerism that really makes our community what it is, so I appreciate everybody's hard work, and welcome to your new role, Kia.
Thank you, Counselor Manning Martin, and yes, thank you, Joel Brenner and Judy Blodgett. Counselor Gould.
Thank you, Madam President. I echo Councilor Manning Martin's thanks to Mr. Brenner and Mrs. Blodgett. Very valuable role they played. And I am thrilled to welcome Bukia into city government. We're thrilled to have you, Bukia. You've made a ton of friends, and everybody is respectful of you, and thank you. And Stan, welcome. We're glad to have you. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you, Counselor Gould. Any other counselors? Counselor Welton, please.
Thank you, Madam President. I'd just like to echo our fellow counselors, both Joel and Kia, the great people, always put the city first, and we're very grateful to have such good representatives from our community volunteering in these capacities, very important capacities. So thank you, Joel, for your service, your continued service, and Kia, looking forward to voting for you as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Counselor Welton. Any other counselors? Counselor Peach.
Thank you, Madam President. At this time, I'd move to receive and approve item 7E under suspension of the rules for the recommended appointment of Bukia Chalveret, 18 Hilltop Drive, Peabody, Mass., to the position of Board of Registrars for a one-year term to expire April 1st, 2026. So moved.
Thank you, Counselor Peach. I'm going to take a roll call vote.
Counselor Peach.
Yes.
Gould.
Yes.
Gamache.
Yes.
Higgins.
Yes.
Manning Martin.
Yes.
Walton.
Yes.
McGinn.
Yes.
Millville.
Yes.
Daigle.
Yes.
Oh, sorry. Motion carried 9-0.
Congratulations to you and Stan. Very well deserved. And we are going to move along. The item of 4A hearings has been continued. So we're going to move on to reports of committee, Municipal Safety Committee. Councilor Manning Martin.
Thank you very much.
Madam President.
Sorry, they're got some chatter here.
I'm sorry?
I don't know. He's very excited. He has something to say. Craig? I'm going to defer to Craig.
Thank you, Councilor Manning Martin. I just wanted to put forth a motion to accept late 1, 2, and 3 before we move forward with the request. So move. That's to postpone the hearing. Thank you. So move.
Thank you. You heard the motion. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Any opposed? It's a vote. Thank you, Councilor Welton, for doing that. Councilor Manning Martin.
Thank you. Councilor Welton was on his game this evening. Good job. Yes, the Municipal Safety Committee meeting met Municipal Safety Committee met this evening. In attendance with myself as chair were Councilors Gamache, Councilor Higgins, Councilor Peach, and sitting in for Councilor Rossignol was Councilor McGinn. Also in attendance this evening were Fire Chief Jay Dowling, Police Chief Thomas Griffin, Thomas St. Pierre, the Building Commissioner, Sharon Cameron, the Director of Health and Human Services, Chris Wodarski, the Code Enforcement Officer, and also Mayor Betancourt joined us and had several remarks as well. The item on the agenda were the migrant shelters at Holiday Inn, 1 Newbury Street, Extended Stay America, 200 Jubilee Drive, and Spring Hill Suites on 43 Newbury Street. Each of the department heads put together some data and shared it with the committee upon request of any interactions or reports or calls that they had within their departments to those areas involving the migrant shelters. And the health department reported out that there were some issues there, that they worked with the Holiday Inn specifically to make repairs and address some ordinance failures, and they were pretty good with their compliance. There were no penalties issued, no fines, and she reported out that there are 253 people as of, I believe it was this week, at the Holiday Inn, which is scheduled to close on December 31st, 2025. We did receive new families, I believe, from Danvers, but she couldn't tell us whether they were removed from other migrant shelters. She didn't have that information. And a theme of the evening was that a lot of the department heads, including the mayor, did not have information. They haven't been privy to the information because the state has not been really forthcoming in sharing information with the city officials that have had to handle this state mandate. The fire chief, Jay Dowling, shared that there's been 2.5 times to 5 times calls to these areas, 2.5 times at Spring Hill, 2.5 times at Extended Stay, and 5 times the amount of calls at the Holiday Inn. And what he did share, which I think was a relief to the council, and I'm sure it would be a relief to residents to hear, that child that was reported as burned at the Holiday Inn was due to a hot soup. It was to take out food. It wasn't due to cooking, as many of us had assumed. And the fire chief assured us there was no cooking going on, so that was a relief to hear. But he as well has no communication with the state as to the beginning or the end of this state mandate. The building commissioner really explained that he had no contact really with the state building commissioner, and they get jurisdiction on this when the hotel took over the status of being a migrant shelter and no longer a hotel. So it was under the state building commissioner's purview. But what he did say was that the department heads, including himself, do plan to require new occupancy permits for all 3 of the hotels that have been used for migrant shelters. In order for them to switch back over to hotel status, they're going to have to get new occupancy permits. The police chief also no contact with the state, and he reported that he has had substantial increase in the amount of calls. He looked at pre-COVID numbers for 2019 and compared them to 2023 and 2024. And he had 3 times the amount of calls and 3 to 4 times the amount of arrests. And the mayor also had some remarks that, he recognizes the strain on the city, and he commented that he shared that there was little communication from the state in part of planning the beginning or the exit plan or any closing plans. He said that he does get occasional Executive Office of Livable Cities emails from time to time, noting of time frames of some actions, but it really doesn't, it really isn't including the city or the mayor or any department heads on the day-to-day operations. And a lot of accolades were given to the school department, the teachers, the paras, the custodians, all the staff in the amount of extra work required of them, given the state mandate with the increase in students in Peabody Public Schools. So they certainly did an outstanding job. And the building itself, especially the Holiday Inn, has had a lot of wear and tear as it's evident that these are hotels. They're short-term stay, intended for short-term stay, not long-term residential. So they've really, it was an old building with a lot of wear and tear, and it's going to need a lot of renovations. And the mayor has assured us that that there will be communication with the state in the cost of those repairs should the state put any of that responsibility on the Peabody taxpayers. That certainly will amount to pushback and heavy discussion. So that it was a great meeting, and the purpose of the meeting was to share with residents what information we do have, what little we had, and moving forward to keep residents apprised of the situation as the state plans to stop using the migrant shelter, which Holiday Inn is the only one still in use in Peabody. The other two are no longer in use, as the state plans to stop using that Holiday Inn by December 31st, 2025. And we hope to receive information. We hope communication improves with the state, and whatever information that we do get, we plan to keep residents apprised and bring them along so that they're not in the dark moving forward. No motions came from the meeting, so that is a report of progress, but I do plan to follow up in the near future with any other information we may receive from any of those department heads or the mayor. Thank you, Madam Chair. That is a report of progress.
Thank you, Councilor Manning Martin, and I applaud you for bringing this before us and being transparent for something that's a sensitive topic, but something that we certainly need to talk about and keep people apprised of. Moving on to the report of Industrial and Community Development, we thank you to Councilor Welton. We received late communications 1 through 3, so that has been continued. Now we are going to take the report of the Finance Committee from Councilor McGinn.
Thank you, Madam President. Finance Committee met earlier this evening. Present for the committee were Councilors Gamache, Gould, Manning Martin, and sitting in for Turco was Councilor Higgins. I was there as chair. Also present were Councilors Peach and Daigle. We had 3 items on the agenda. The first item was to amend Section 1821 entitled Rates of Compensation for Full-Time Positions Not Subject to Collective Bargaining, Public Works Foreman, Motor Equipment. This was brought to us by His Honor the Mayor. It was explained that this is a position filled currently by an individual named John Keenan, and that it is simply moving what had been an agreement to pay him a stipend, taking that stipend and rolling that into the base salary. And this is specific to this particular individual. So it is effectively a wash from in terms of a budget impact. With that as explanation, there was a motion made by Councilor Gould as follows. City of Peabody, Massachusetts, An ordinance amending Section 1821 entitled Rates of Compensation for Full-Time Positions Not Subject to Collective Bargaining, be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Peabody as follows. Section 1, the ordinance establishing a compensation and classification plan is hereby amended as follows. The Code of the City of Peabody, as adopted January 23, 1969, and amended, is hereby further amended by deleting from 18-21 the ordinance establishing a compensation and classification plan for Public Works foreman motor equipment, effective July 1, 2025, $83,187, and replacing with Public Works foreman motor equipment, effective May 1st, 2025, $97,750. The motion is to advertise as read. Madam President, that motion passed the Finance Committee unanimously. I now bring it for consideration to the full council. So moved.
Thank you, Councilor McGinn. You heard the motion. Any discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Counselor Peach.
Yes.
Gould.
Yes.
Gamache.
Yes.
Higgins.
Yes.
Manning Martin.
Yes.
Walton.
Yes.
McGinn.
Yes.
Melville.
Yes.
Daigle.
Yes.
Motion carries 9-0.
Thank you, Councilor McGinn.
Thank you, Madam President. Next item on the agenda was transfer funds snow removal services in an amount of $1,065,000 and sand and road salt in an amount of $485,000. This was brought to us by the Director of Finance, Mr. Gingras, and reminded us that he typically brings this request to us this time of year to essentially pay the bill for snow and ice removal in the previous winter. He noted that due to the heavier snowfall this year, there had been an increase from the prior year from a comparison standpoint. With that as explanation, there was a motion made by Councilor Gould as follows. Move to approve transfer request unreserved fund balance free cash account number 1000000035901 an amount of $1,550,000 to snow removal services account number 1000421053136 and an amount of $1,065,000 and snow and road salt account number 1000210054812 in an amount of $485,000 for a total of $1,550,000. Madam President, that motion passed the committee unanimously, and I now bring it for consideration of the full council. So moved.
Thank you, Councilor McGinn. You heard the motion. Any discussion? Seeing none, roll call vote, please.
Counselor Peach.
Yes.
Gould.
Yes.
Gamache.
Yes.
Higgins.
Yes.
Manning Martin.
Yes.
Walton.
Yes.
McGinn.
Yes.
Melville.
Yes.
Daigle.
Yes.
Motion carries 9-0.
Thank you, Councilor McGinn.
Thank you, Madam President. Last item on the agenda was transfer of funds, cemetery capital improvement in an amount of $132,744. This was brought to us by the Director of Finance, Mr. Gingras. And again, he reminded us that this is typically brought to us this time of year when their money is needed at the cemetery for mowers and various repairs of cemetery maintenance equipment and so forth. With that as explanation, there was a motion made by Councilor Gould as follows. Move to approve cemetery sale of lots and graves, account number 270-33006, an amount of $80,000, and cemetery perpetual care, account number 500-000032303, an amount of $52,744, to cemetery capital improvement, account number 300-04910-58608, an amount of $132,744. Madam President, that passed the committee unanimously. I now bring it for consideration of the full council. So moved.
Thank you, Councilor McGinn. You heard the motion. Any discussion? Seeing none, roll call vote, please.
Counselor Peach.
Yes.
Gould.
Yes.
Gamache.
Yes.
Higgins.
Yes.
Manning Martin.
Yes.
Walton.
Yes.
McGinn.
Yes.
Melville.
Yes.
Daigle.
Yes.
Motion carries 9-0.
Thank you very much. Councilor McGinn.
Thank you, Madam President. That completes the report.
Thank you, Councilor McGinn, and I do want to give a shout out to our Assistant City Clerk, Stacy Pattarelli, who's stepping in for Allison Danforth and doing a great job with her roll call. So thank you for keeping us in check. We are going to move on to motions, orders, and resolutions. Councilor Peach.
Thank you, Madam President. Under suspension of the rules, move to receive item 8F and refer to industrial and community development. So moved.
You heard the motion. All in favor? Any opposed? It's a vote. Councilor Peach.
Thank you, Madam President. Under suspension of the rules, I've got a couple. Move to receive item 8B and set up a special permit hearing. So moved.
You heard them. That was 8B, correct, Councilor Peach?
Correct.
You heard the motion. Any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? It's a vote. Councilor Peach.
Thank you, Madam President. Under suspension of the rules, move to receive item 8D and set up a special permit hearing. So moved.
You heard the motion. I have a little discussion. Maybe I'll make a separate motion. I think the ward mentioned on this application is incorrect. It's mentioned Ward 4 and it's Ward 3.
Several of them say that.
Yeah, so maybe on my turn, I'll ask the building commissioner to confirm these, just so we have clear paperwork. Otherwise, you heard the motion. All in favor? Any opposed? It's a vote. Councilor Peach.
Thank you, Madam President. Under suspension of the rules, move to receive item 8G and set up a special permit hearing.
You heard the motion. Any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? It's a vote. Councilor Peach.
Thank you, Madam President. Under suspension of the rules, move to receive item 8H and set up a special permit hearing.
You heard the motion. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, any opposed? It's a vote. Councilor Peach.
Thank you, Madam President. No further motions at this time. I just hope everyone's excited for Ward 3 special permits next meeting.
Thank you, Councilor Peach. We keep you busy. Councilor Gould.
No motions, Madam President. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Gould. Councilor Gamache.
Yes, under suspension of the rules, I'd go to item 9, presentation of petition memorials and remonstrances. 9A, junk dealers license, renewal 2025, Charlotte Appliance Center, 15 Spring Street, the Mod House, 58 Pulaski Street, Building C. Move approval, all papers being in order.
You heard the motion. Any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? It's a vote. Councilor Gamache.
Yes, also under suspension of rules, 10B. This is an order, Code of the City of Peabody, adopted April 11, 2024, is amended, is hereby further amended. Section 19-126, obedience to isolated stop signs, be amended as follows by adding the following isolated stop sign: Page Street, northwest bound at Baldwin Street. Section 2, all ordinance or parts of ordinance consistent with this are hereby repealed. Section 3, the ordinance shall take effect as provided by law. Introduced March 27, 2025, ordered, published March 27, 2025, published April 10, 2025. Move approval.
You heard the motion. Any discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Councilor Peach.
Yes.
Gould.
Yes.
Gamache.
Yes.
Higgins.
Yes.
Manning Martin. Walton.
Yes.
McGinn.
Yes.
Millville.
Yes.
Diego.
Yes.
Motion carries 9-0.
Thank you. Councilor Gamache.
No further motions at this time.
Thank you, sir. Councilor Higgins.
Thank you, Madam President. Under suspension of the rules, I'd like to accept item 8I and refer to the ad hoc committee on aggregate industries. So moved.
You heard the motion. All in favor? Any opposed? Oh, Councilor McGinn on the motion.
On the motion, through you to Councilor Higgins, this has been a name change. Is that correct, at aggregate?
Correct.
So just wondering, Madam President, since you control the committees, maybe we need to rename the committee if it's no longer aggregate. Very minor issue, but
I will consult with the city clerk. So now we're calling it Wholesome Quarry. Counselor Higgins.
We may want to hold up on that. There may be another name change in coming months, so we may want to wait till then, like somewhere around July.
Thank you, Madam President. I'm sure Councilor Higgins will be on top of it.
Perfect. Thank you, Counselor Higgins. Or we could name the committee on the address, maybe not the business name. But all in favor on that motion to receive? All in favor, any opposed? It's a vote. Counselor Higgins.
No further orders or resolutions for me tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. Counselor Manning Martin.
No motions. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Before I move on to Counselor Welton, I'm going to jump to Counselor Gould.
Thank you, Madam President. Under suspension of the rules, move for approval of item 10A, ready for council adoption, bond order, Peabody Veterans Memorial High School, feasibility $8 million. It's already been read into the record, so move for approval, Madam President.
You heard the motion to approve item 10A. Any discussion? This is $8 million. Seeing none. Okay, roll call vote, please.
Counselor Peach.
Yes.
Gould.
Yes.
Gamache.
Yes.
Higgins.
Yes.
Manning Martin.
Yes.
Welton.
Yes.
McGinn.
Yes.
Millville.
Yes.
Diego.
Yes.
Motion carries 9-0.
Thank you very much. If you're okay, Counselor Gould, are you done with the floor? Counselor Welton, please.
Thank you, Madam President. No motions this evening, just a public service announcement. Tomorrow, the Peabody Little League is going to have a parade from Higgins at 5 o'clock to James Street. Would like to invite anyone from the community to come and cheer on the athletes and anyone from the council to come and participate as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Counselor Welton. Counselor McGinn.
Thank you, Madam President. Suspension of the rules, move to receive item 7A and refer to finance. So moved.
You heard the motion. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, any opposed? It's a vote. Counselor McGinn.
Thank you, Madam President. Suspension of the rules, move to receive item 7B and refer to finance. So moved.
All in favor, any opposed? It's a vote. Counselor McGinn.
Thank you, Madam President. On suspension of the rules, move to receive item 7C and refer to finance. So moved.
All in favor, any opposed? It's a vote. Counselor McGinn.
Thank you, Madam President. On suspension of the rules, move to receive item 7D and refer to finance. So moved.
All in favor, any opposed? It's a vote. Counselor McGinn.
Thank you, Madam President. On suspension of the rules, move to receive item 8A and refer to legal affairs. So moved.
You heard the motion. Any discussion? Seeing none. All in favor, any opposed? It's a vote. Counselor McGinn.
Thank you, Madam President. On the suspension of the rules, move to receive item 10C and adopt as advertised. So moved.
You heard the motion. Any discussion? Roll call vote.
Counselor Peach.
Yes.
Gould.
Yes.
Gamache.
Yes.
Higgins.
Yes.
Manning Martin.
Yes.
Welton.
Yes.
McGinn.
Yes.
Millville.
Yes.
Diego.
Yes.
Motion carries 9-0.
Thank you. Counselor McGinn.
Thank you, Madam President. On the suspension of the rules, move to receive item 10D and adopt as advertised. So moved.
You heard the motion. Any discussion? Seeing none. Roll call vote, please.
Counselor Peach.
Yes.
Gould. Gamache.
Yes.
Higgins.
Yes.
Manning Martin. Welton.
Yes.
McGinn.
Yes.
Millville.
Yes.
Diego.
Yes.
Motion carries 9-0.
Thank you. Counselor McGinn.
Thank you, Madam President. No further motions.
Thank you, sir. Counselor Melville.
Thank you. Under suspension of the rules, move to receive item 8C. So moved.
You heard the motion. Any discussion? All in favor, any opposed? It's a vote. Counselor Melville.
I do have one motion. I'd like to make a motion to request the tree department evaluate and if they deem necessary, remove a tree at 22 Greenwood Road. So moved.
You heard the motion. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, any opposed, it's a vote.
And lastly, just on the announcements, just on Saturday, just a reminder that it is Pride in Peabody Spring Cleanup Day at 10 a.m. out in front of City Hall. It's what I know the weather's doesn't look great, but it will be taking place. Is there a problem? Oh, okay. Everybody's pointing at me. Sorry. So just as a reminder, everybody, and then also to receive. I also, under suspension of the rules, move to receive item 8E. I don't think we caught that one. I think I figured out what you guys were pointing at. All right, great. So moved.
Thank you. That is what we were debating about. Thank you. You heard the motion to receive and approve item 8E. All in favor? Any opposed? It's a vote.
And then, according to council, just going to read it into the record. Councilor McGinn had asked that I do that. It's a move to request the police chief, Thomas Griffin, assign a minimum of 1 police officer at each polling precinct for the municipal primary to be held on Tuesday, September 2nd, 2025, the municipal election to be held on Tuesday, November 4th, 2025, and any early voting dates in 2025. So moved.
You heard the motion. Any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? It's a vote.
Yep, and just again, Pride and Peabody Cleanup Day. Hope to see everybody there. Look forward to it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Councilor Melville. And that was 10 o'clock at City Hall on Saturday?
Yep, it's on the city website and 10 a.m. out front.
So you're all welcome to attend the Little League Parade on Friday night at James Street Park, or the Pride and Peabody Cleanup on Saturday. I do have one motion, is to the building commissioner. When we receive special permit applications, I'd like to make sure that we're confirming the proper ward when we're receiving and approving these, because I think it's cleaner for the record. So if I could make that motion to him to confirm, I think that's in his jurisdiction. Any discussion on this? Seeing none, all in favor, any opposed? It's a vote, and I will entertain a vote. Here we go, Councilor Gamache, motion to adjourn. Thank you.